Hey guys, Jeff Huskins here. Welcome back to Enter the Atmosphere. I got my buddy HunterGirl on today. We're going to break down her brand new single called Ain't About You. It's a killer. Let's do it. Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks so much for last week's show. The responses we got were amazing. Wolfgang Van Halen and his new album Mammoth 2. There's a lot of songs on there to cover, and I've only covered one so far. So I got this idea. Hey, why don't we just have you guys vote and pick which one you want to break down next? So first you got to go listen to the album. It's called Mammoth 2. It's out on Apple, all your DSPs, you can find it. Pick your favorite song and send me a comment. Whichever song gets the most comments, I'm going to break that down in next week's show. So it's up to you guys, and we'll make it happen. So you guys have been hitting me up and asking me about where's Kirsty been? Where's she at, your co-host? And I said, well, there's a lot of people don't know, she's an entertainer, a singer, songwriter, very talented, amazing. And she's been out on the road doing her thing. And I reached out to her. We just talked the other day, and she shot us this message to play along for everybody. Check it out.
What's up, guys? Kirsty Krause here, coming to you from Virginia, checking in. I miss you guys so much in Nashville at BMG Studio A. Hey, Jeff, miss you, and I will see you soon. We'll be in Virginia for 11 days, but I'll be there soon.
Miss that girl. Can't wait till she gets back in there and helps me out. So that being said, let's get on to what we got cooking this week. I got my buddy HunterGirl here, and if you don't know who that is, she was the season 20 runner-up on American Idol. She's signed here to one of our labels here at BMG, and she is a fantastic singer. She's got a brand new single out called Ain't About You, and I'm going to break it down today and show you guys exactly what I did, how I did it. So, hey, let's get to Pro Tools and let's do this. All right, here we are back in familiar territory, back in Pro Tools, back in my template. As you guys have seen in the past, I'm a creature of habit. It keeps things moving fast that way. Keeps your work process going in the right direction. It keeps you creative. And staying creative is so important. Not get bogged down in all the mumbo jumbo, the technical side. So that's for another day when you're sitting around and not trying to be creative. So this song is a real minimalistic song, kind of like the House of Built Me, Miranda Lambert kind of thing. So there's not a whole lot of tracks. And sometimes those can be the most difficult ones to mix because what do you do? Where do you put the stuff, you know? But this one, it sounds great. She did such an amazing job. But let's just, before we get into it too far, as I always like to do, let me play you just a verse and the chorus so you can get the flavor of what's cooking here.
You always used to smile when you held your guitar, but now it feels like a reminder that you ain't got too far. Strumming strings used to feel like breathing, but now it takes your breath away. Counting years, counting reasons why it won't work. But what if it does? What if tomorrow all those closed doors open? But if you give up, if you give in, you should know that you're not the only one who's losing. What if there's a little girl who needs a song telling her she's beautiful when the world tells her she's wrong? So before you say you're not good enough, that all your dreams are wish and dusty, call it quits, walk away and say you're through. What if it ain't about you?
Woo! Go, girl. Man, this girl can sing. What a voice. Amazing. Yeah, I didn't see where that button was that said emotion, but she's got that thing set on stun, doesn't she? Woo! Woo! Killer. All right, let's get to it. So we got a stereo track of drums that came in. We got a stereo track of percussion that came in, and a stereo track of a loop that came in. I got all three of those bad boys, so they're right here. These three right there. They're all sending down to our little drum sub, doing the little bit of my slam on the side, which is my compression and stuff in parallel, which I've shown you. I like the UAD distressor for this, and my buddy Fab Filter, the Pro Q for that. Then this is going down to our up mixer, which I've showed you before, but people keep asking me about it. It's awesome. And it is the Nugent Halo Up Mix, and it rules. This thing's great. You can control where it goes, kind of adjust it to your own taste and stuff. And this song is like, the drums are not as far forward as normal, like more your country stuff that's more drum driven. This is not. And it was definitely everybody's mission to keep this real light, like the House That Built Me kind of feel. So, just, nothing crazy. Just sending it down there and getting it around the room where it feels like it's around you. Then we go to the bass. I had a stereo bass, so I just doubled it, made them into objects, put the objects, one in the back, one in the front. Nothing fancy there. It's what I do at almost every mix. Next up, we got, let's see what this is, acoustic guitars, it looks like. So we got this little stem going on here with her acoustics. It's a real tender guitar. Kind of move that down in the middle of the room. I like to put acoustics out there. They engulf you when you do that. That's where I stuck that one. Then there's a little extra little picking part that happens. I guess this is right at the chorus. This is cool. Just downbeats. Hasty. So those little added things that make songs great. Then we get into the synth part. Let's just see what this is doing. Yeah, that's cool. And then another one. And a piano sound. Yeah, it's cool. And these, you can see it's moving around in automation a little bit. That's just me riding on the blender up and down. It's kind of giving some movement, some ear candy, because this song doesn't have a lot. It's all about that vocal. So you just want to throw some things in there just for interest that does not take away from that vocal, because that's the key to this song. So you're coming out of that. Then we got some really great little electric guitar parts. This is cool. I'm absolutely doing nothing to that, but just panning it. It's kind of a little cool trick on this, the way I did pan it. A lot of people don't think about doing this, but you're not in stereo no more. So it's like you can do weird things with the panning. Got to be careful about phase and all that stuff. But in this instance, it worked great. So on the left side, I got it in the front, up midway. And then on the right side, I've got it back in the room. So it's kind of panning. I know my angles are not going to show up on the camera, right? But like this, across the room, kind of up and back to the corner. And then on the next guitar, I do the exact opposite. And what that creates is this warm feeling of electrics all around you. Kind of like we did the acoustic, but just in a different space. So you got the acoustics here on the side. You got these here, kind of here. And it just makes for a real big sounding mix that you're not getting nuts on. But here's the guitars doing their thing. Well, let's add in the acoustics. Now we'll add in the two keyboard parts that are doing this moving back and forth, this kind of thing here. It's awesome. Now, the next thing we added in, and again, when you're doing this, you're looking for space. You're looking for a spot to put something that doesn't sound like it's just coming out of, South Texas that back there, but you want it to sound like it's part of the song, but it's got its own little environment to hang out in, and it blends from there. Steel guitar is a big part of the song, so I took the steel and shot it all the way up to the top of the room and back. So it's just like this, the steel from heaven. So, and he had plenty of verb and everything on the actual track, so I didn't have to add anything to it. Just had to put it in the right spot. Here it is. Playing a little chorus with all the guitars, the synths, and the acoustic guitars as well. Yeah, it's cool. Okay, now the Holy Grail here, as I like to say, that daggum vocal. Woo! What do you do to that? Just turn it on? That's about all I did. She just wore it out. So this song starts. I'm just going to give you just a little bit of her. I know she won't care that I do this. When you sing this good, I'm going to solo her right at the top. Just give you a little bit of the verse of her by herself and how this came to me and what I did with it. So,
You always used to smile when you held your guitar, but now it feels like a reminder that you ain't got too far.
yeah, don't get much better than that, boys and girls. Wow. Okay, so what am I doing here? I got this thing. I got to go into my my object bed that I've showed you before, but it's right down here in red. And this one's going to LR, which is left right, which is right here. And it's just two objects that are in a permanent pan, and I can send to that from as many places as I want to. It's great to have this. It gives you lots of options, especially when you have a really big track and you run out of objects, which I do a lot. And this way I got other places to stick it and still maintaining that bed is only for my drums. That's just the way I like to do it. It keeps control that way. And I've gotten now to where this song I didn't do it, but on some of the things I've done in the past that had a lot of percussion, I'll take the percussion and take that out of the bed too, because a lot of times you'll get in a situation where the producer or the artist will say, "Hey, can you turn that shaker down?" And you're going, it's embedded in the drum bed, so you got to go all the way back. And anyways, it's just better to keep things as separate as you possibly can at all times through the whole entire process of mixing Atmos, because just like anything else, it's salt and pepper, man. Somebody's going to want this, somebody's going to want that. Vocal up, vocal down, acoustic up, whatever it might be. Solo's too loud, turn it down, turn it up, pan it here. Things just kind of change, and especially in this environment because it's new, and artists come in and they're tripping. Hey, man, this is fun. Let's do this. And so you just want to make sure you keep everything in this I call it mono world, because technically that's what it is, and just keep it where you can control it. So anyways, that's what she's doing. She's headed downtown there to the object bed, coming in left, right. Then let's go to her harmony vocals. Yeah, let's just see where those come in. They don't come in till later in the song. Now, what am I doing with that? I wanted to make those things back from her a little bit. I wanted them a little bit haunting without getting too crazy. I didn't add any verb or anything because they were haunting enough on the record in the original two makes. Show you what I did here. As you can see, there's a big old box around the left and the right, and they're back and the rear. And how you achieve that is down here next to your divergence, you have a thing called size. And just, if you see, you bring that up or bring it down. And I just got it where it needed to be, and it sounded like it was too far off. So I said, okay, I'm going to start bringing it up. And I kept bringing it up all the way to 100, and that's where it sounded the best. So that's where she lives. So show you what that sounds like soloed up with her lead vocal. Let's throw just a little acoustic in there for fun too.
Are you crazy for believing in something everyone told you that you would never get? But if you give up, if you give in, you should know that you're not the only one who's losing. What if there's a little boy who needs a safe place to cry when the whole world says to suck it up just 'cause he's a guy? So before he's...
So that's that. Then, so I take this whole entire mix and I print the entire mix. We highlight it, get it, import the 2 mix, which is right here. We got our mix like we want. And I make sure that I got it the exact same length as the 2 mix, or you get sent to the principal's office at Apple. We don't want that. So everything's the same and everything's lined up. You just clip it. Make sure if you had a whole bunch hanging out here, you want to clip that off. It's got to be perfect. And then you come in here, come up to your, bounce your mix. And then this is going to be called a pre-master. And it's a waves file. And you bounce it down. And then I'll take this and I'll show you how I do it on the other side. Here we go. Okay, so I open it up here. This is in my mastering template. Here's what I'm doing here. I start a brand new session, import the ADM BWF. Once I get it in, the first thing I do is I go to the bed. It'll be the bed and it'll be all your objects. And the bed, as you remember, that's my drums. So I'm going to take that and I call it, fillet it out into mono. So I make it all mono tracks, which show up here, left, center, right, all the way down through, right up to where it says fab verb, which is my first, number 11. That's my very first object, and there on down. So I got everything in mono. Now I take this mono, and I'm going to get into this template as we go along through the series and stuff, but I basically send this to a key input, and I print a mono print. And then I copy it as many times as I need it, depending on what I'm going to use that key for. No one ever hears this mono print, just whatever I'm sending to it. So get back over here to here. So I'm doing a little EQing across the board. Again, this is in the mastering process. Doing some EQing all the way downtown, all the way across. And if you go right here, I think, yeah, everything stays the same. Then a little bit of compression. Nothing too crazy, about 3.4 to 1. You know, a little fast release. And I'm doing a little side in here where I'm dumping everything below 80 so that all the low end information isn't kicking the compressor across the board, and doing the same thing on the high end. So it's mainly all this mid range and some low mids that are controlling the compressor and making it do its thing. So that's that. I didn't use a limiter on this at all, didn't need it, and then I just trimmed it back to where I hit the magic 18. Show you what I did here on here's our Mac RMU, what I call, and this is the renderer. Go in here to the binaural settings on this song, and this is a totally, it looks different on every single song that I do. This one, weirdly enough, everything is on mid, and that's where it sounded best. I never do that, but I played with it 40 ways to Sunday, and that's the best way that it came out. It just sounded amazing there. It was just the right amount of moving around, and her vocal it didn't sound distant, nothing. It worked out fantastic. So sometimes that happens. Not very often. This is just one of those songs that it did. And believe me, I tried, and I drove myself nuts, and finally went back to that and went, well, that sounds the best. Anyways, Hope you guys dig on this song. I think it's just an amazing piece of work, and the girl is just incredible. Play just a little bit of it here going out to the end. This is mastered and what exactly went to the DSP.
You're not the only one who's losing. What if there's a heart that needs some hope and finds it in the words that you almost never wrote? So before you say you're not good enough, that all your dreams are wishing dust, you call it quits, walk away and say you're through. What if it ain't about you? What if it ain't about you? What if it ain't about you?
Yes, sir. HunterGirl, Ain't About You. Go check it out on Apple, Tidal, Amazon HD. You guys call your local radio stations and request that bad boy. It's going to help her a lot. That's HunterGirl, Ain't About You. What a song. Girl's amazing. Hey, I appreciate you guys and everything you've done. The show's going great, and it's all because you guys signing up, subscribing. Comments are so appreciated because it really helps guide me in what I need to be doing to keep this world of Dolby Atmos cooking. Special thanks to everybody at BMG for everything they do for me. Thank you, HunterGirl, for letting me do this song. What a amazing, beautiful. And guys, don't forget, next week we got we're going to do the new show on Wolfgang Van Halen, and it's going to be whatever you guys pick. So go to Apple, listen to all 10 songs, pick your favorite, send me a comment. Whichever one gets the most comments, that's the one that's going to be on the show. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the show today, and thank you again, HunterGirl. And remember to subscribe, like, and do all that stuff you do. And by gosh, have a blessed weekend and a blessed week, and I will see you next time. See you.
Don't forget, subscribe and click the bell down below and make sure you get notified for all of our upcoming episodes here at Enter the Atmosphere.